Megan from Aspire Health and Rehabilitation. I'm going to be showing you some taping techniques for the shin and the calf. I'm going to be using rock tape or K-tape. Now this type of technique is quite helpful for people that suffer from shin splints or as well as Achilles tendonitis or Achilles tendinopathies, what they're called these days, or any sort of calf kind of pain. What you want to do, you're just using the 5 centimeter tape. Okay. Now with this kind of taping techniques, you want to have the foot on stretch or the tissue on stretch. So with the shin tape that I'll do, you're going to have the foot pointing down, so you're just stretching through the tissue through here. With the taping technique, with the tape, you want to have, when you do apply it, you want to apply roughly 50-70% stretch. So you will be taping it quite far. So I'll normally start from the top, and I'll probably cut it from there, and it will stretch down here when I'm done. And I'll show you what I'll do with it. I normally cut the ends off. Okay. Alright, so again, tissue on stretch. The first 2-3 centimeters of the tape, you don't want one on stretch. It provides a bit of an anchorage. But also if you stretch throughout the whole tape and you don't have any anchorage points either side of the tape, it will increase your risk of like skin irritations and stuff like that. So taking the first 2-3 centimeters off and just applying it down. Now when you apply it, depending on what side you have the shin splints, I suffer from the outside of the shin. So some people suffer from the inside. Essentially you want to apply the tape just to the outside of the shin bone, the tibia. So I'm going to be applying it on the outside because I suffer from the shin splints on the outside. But essentially, if you're doing it from the inside, again, it's just inside of the shin bone. Okay. You want to make sure that when you start that the area is dry and it's not sweaty or wet because it won't stick. And if you're going to be doing this for an event such as running or anything like that, you want to make sure you apply at least half an hour to an hour before the event, so at least it actually stays on the whole event. Again, I always apply these tapes. If I'm doing it for myself, I can always apply it for myself. However, I can also do it for someone else. Essentially, just holding it down there. You don't need to hold it if it's stuck down quite well. Again, foot on or the tissue on stretch, stretching it down. Okay. And what you're doing, you're just laying it down either side of the shin and you're just letting it roll off. Okay? So it looks like so. You can do it on the inside. Like I said, tissue on stretch, laying the first 2-3 centimeters down, applying the stretch, just rubbing your hand over it to actually let it stick to the shin, and then the last 3 centimeters off, you're just laying it down without stretch. Now, depending on what areas are a bit more tender than others, if you've got 2 or 3 areas that are a bit more tender when you do palpate and touch into them, you can provide or apply what's called decompression strips. Okay, and essentially what it does, it helps lift up the skin to help offload that area. So all I want is a little bit of tape just to go either side of that tape. And you can actually apply these strips. I'll just apply one. You can actually apply these strips about 80 to 90% stretch. But again, you just want the first either side of the tape without stretch. Oh, I should have left that on. So I just rip off the tape, get it ready, and actually apply it like a band-aid. So you can do it like this, or you can just rip off one part in the middle. I'll apply 2 just to demonstrate. So again, holding it like a band-aid, okay, finding a tender area of the shin, applying 80 to 90% stretch, laying it down, and you're just letting that last bit off. Okay, I'll show another way of doing it. Probably a little bit more easy the second time around to show. Again, taking the ends off just so it doesn't get caught on clothing. You can break it off in the middle. Okay, peel it off like a band-aid. I tend to do this one more than the other one. If you've got another tender area or really sore spot, holding like a band-aid, applying it down and just letting that last 2-3 centimeters off. Okay, like I said, half an hour to hour before an event, just so it sticks. If you've got hairy legs, it most likely stick to the hair and not the actual tape. So it depends on how you do it. You can trim the hair down or shave. Otherwise you can also use like adhesive kind of sprays, hairsprays, try and make it stick a little bit easier. Make sure the area is dry, so make sure you really dry it off with a towel or paper, like a paper towel, or even applying some deodorant there to try and make sure the area is nice and dry. If you're prone to skin irritations, you can even get a skin irritation if you've been using this tape for a while. If you do get a skin irritation like itchiness, redness, or anything like that, take it straight off. However, you can leave it on for 3 or 4 days. When you're showering, you're just patting it dry. Now, I showed you the taping technique for shin splints. However, like I said, you can also do it for the calf and the Achilles. Essentially, like I said, it's essentially applying the exact same kind of taping techniques, even with the decompression strips for the calf and the Achilles. You want to make sure that you have the foot on stretch, so you can do it in a sitting position. Sometimes I start it from underneath the heel and I apply it up the calf. And again, providing decompression strips. Whether you do it in like this kind of position or seated, you can also get up, prop your foot on something and apply it in this position as well. Again, having it on stretch, so you're having the toes pointing up and you're applying it in this position. It is quite easy to do, however it does, sometimes it does take a little bit of practice, but essentially it's the exact same type of taping technique, you're just applying it to the back of the leg now. Thanks for watching. If you want any more access to other videos and articles, check out our Aspire Health and Rehabilitation YouTube page. We also have a website, www.aspirehealthrehab.com.au, and you can also give us a like on Facebook and Instagram.